Hey folks, what's up? This is Antonio Pomares, aka The Hungry Bleak, and this is your comics news update via The Hungry Bleak Show. And visiting me today as my special correspondent co-host, brother in ink. Is that a thing? Is it a thing?
It is today.
Okay, we're gonna try it out today. This is renowned writer, creator, Star Trek enthusiast, actually space opera enthusiast. Let's not keep it to one particular show, although you are. Folks, this is Robert Jeffries. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be here and just happy to talk some comics.
So let's jump into it. How's that?
That's cool. Works for me.
All right. So first story we've got up is Marvel has a new series that they're going to be starting, which is going to be called Bloodhunt. It's their event that's going to be going on. Basically, if you know me, you know I love vampires, especially comic books and vampires. Just great. One of my favorite characters is Blade. This will incorporate Blade, and this is going to be running from May to July. So that's a good chunk of time.
Yes.
Yeah, basically what's happening is the vampires are all getting together, and they're starting a huge war and battle, and then you're going to have everyone's going to be in this fight. You're going to have everyone from the Fantastic Four to the Avengers. Cap's going to form, I guess, another team of Avengers. Oh, goody. I'm just saying, folks, there's a lot of Avengers going around. Avengers, and we're going to have some miniseries, which are going to be like 5-issue miniseries. We're going to have a couple of ongoing series that are going to have tie-in issues. We're going to have some one-shots, and then we're going to have a main series of Bloodhunt, which is going to go through the actual story. Leading this charge is going to be Jed MacKay and Pepe Larraz. I hope I'm saying the name pronounced properly. I'm a fan of Jed MacKay from his on Moon Knight. He's one of what they did, and this looks like a lot of fun. Like I said, it's going to be. These are some of the covers for some of what's going to be hitting. Vengeance of Moon Knight. We're going to be getting that, which looks pretty cool. We're going to be getting an Amazing Spider-Man. That's obviously Ramita art. You can always tell because right angles. That sounded so jerky, but you know what I mean. This is Cap's team of Avengers. Looks pretty cool. We've got Doctor Strange, obviously. Is going to be in there as well. We have Venom.
Covers.
Yeah, the covers are. I always love tie-ins of covers because they can look pretty cool because they always have more leeway to do what they want to do, which is exciting. Right. Fantastic Four. This is like a very classic. I want to say like this feels like an Alex Ross kind of classic cover to me. You know, like even the costumes and the hair and everything of Sue's. This looks cool.
Well, it is. It is Alex Ross.
I was totally riffing. I was just like, yo, this looks like her Alex. Oh, that's how much I look at covers now when I research stuff and I really study stuff because I'm like, yeah, that's like an Alex Ross cover. That's awesome. And it is. Thank you very much, Robert. This is why you're here, to keep it professional. We've got Miles Morales, Spider-Man, who, from what I understand, has been training with Blade for quite a while. And we see, obviously, the Daywalker there in his new gear from the most recent series from Brian E. Hill and Casagrande did an amazing job. And let me show you some of the covers for what they're going to be going on for Bloodhunt. They're some beautiful covers. Some of the series that they're going to be going through on. So, like I said, there's going to be a main series and a prelude, which as of this recording, actually as of this airing, you will have already been through Free Comic Book Day. I hope you had fun, you enjoyed it, whatever, and I hope you got that free issue for Bloodhunt. I'm looking for that, obviously. So it's going to be 1 through 5 of Bloodhunt, which is going to be the main series. Then we're going to have limited series ties. We're going to have Black Panther, Union Jack. I'm hyped for Blood Hunters, Dracula, Midnight Suns.
That's what's yeah,
dude. Nice. Strange Academy, Amazing Spider-Man, and Wolverine. Okay. So, Black Panther. There's something I've always wanted is a vampire hunter who was trained in Wakanda. When I saw Werewolf by Night, the Disney Plus series, I was like, oh. When I think that hunter was supposed to be Blade, but everything happened, and I was like, oh. I wonder if he's from Wakanda. Always had that idea in my head. Beautiful. We have the one-shots. They have not shown the covers yet. I'm really excited about that. There's probably going to be something cool. And then these are going to be the tie-in issues that are going to be from regular ongoing series. And like I said, this is going to be going from May to July, so you're going to be getting a huge chunk of vampires from Marvel.
Is basically like the summer blockbuster. I
Yes.
think like crossovers, Marvel, DC, all the large and actually medium indie publishers, they try to use the summertime to be like that big blockbuster kind of feeling type of vibe. And I sometimes feel that kind of ties into like the movie, the
Yeah.
movie season. So it's just like, now you got to rush into your stores and, take part in this event. So that's pretty good. And one question I had is like Pepe Larraz, he or she, they're from that's from the Krakoa era, X-Men, right?
Oh, are they? I have the name is not familiar to me. I haven't read a lot of the X-Men, unfortunately, lately. But it's the name sounds so familiar to me, truthfully.
And I want to say, I think there we go. Yeah.
It is from it's.
Yep.
I mean,
House of
I'm
X.
excited. I really do want to go back and read a lot of the X-Men stuff from that.
Mhm.
There's just so much things, but
Yeah.
well, what you're saying makes so much sense. I love that idea of a blockbuster comic book,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense,
Mhm.
because it's hot. You want to be inside. You want to read. Go do that. I love that idea. And again, there's also probably ties in, and because hopefully they're getting closer to the movie,
Mhm.
but there's
Yeah.
also going to be the video game that I believe is supposed to be coming out in September.
For Blade, yeah, I'd have to
Yeah,
check it out, but I do think I think that it is this year.
because for some reason, my target date for a PS5 is September. So
Okay,
I
there
want to
you
say it ties into that because I need that PS5 because I need that game.
go. It's yeah, I think Marvel definitely needs to kind of step it up in regards to like the action adventure games, as far as the gameplay. I would love a MMORPG. We keep talking about that, as far as just kind of tapping into that, all of
That
those characters in that world and that IP. But I love that the fact that Blade is over the past few years, minus a movie, he's been getting a lot of shine time within the comics, and then now you have the video game, which is huge considering the fact that he doesn't have like a movie, he doesn't have a TV show, but they're like,
Mhm.
the character is strong enough that his mythology and the story is strong enough that we can dedicate an entire video game. And then also partly, I feel he was going to be a large part of this crossover with Bloodhunt. So if you're a Blade fan, this is a perfect time, to be following all of his stuff. So
Yeah, I think this is going to be really exciting. I'm excited about, like I said, I love the idea of a summer blockbuster. What Brian E. Hill did with the 10 issue series that he had for Blade was awesome. It just ended last week, unfortunately, but it was great. It's going to be leading up to Bloodhunt. And he made a really great point of, I'm going to make this like a big blockbuster movie because why
nice.
not? You have the opportunity to do this when he was talking about that 10 issue series. He said, well, you have the opportunity to do this. And Casagrande did such an incredible job with the action scenes and everything. It felt like a big box office blockbuster movie. So I started following Casagrande's work, and I'm reading Black Widow, and it has the same feel of vibe, but you're getting more of that espionage. I absolutely love it. But folks, if you're on a hunt for a great comic, the best place to go is Kickstarter because you're going to find comics that are being able to be pre-ordered, and this one is one that you definitely need to make time for. That was a horrible pun. I apologize, Robert. I really do. I apologize. It's horrible. It's horrible. I apologize, sir.
No. It was a good segue. So, kind of piggybacking on that, I thought it was a great segue. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
but
Thank you.
Kickstarter definitely is a place where you can find a wide variety of comics, quality comics, and one of them being the Temporal 10th. So it's a series that was kickstarted. It's launched, published by SUBSUME Media, run by Man About the World, Dedrin
Yes.
Steve, who is has a background as far as comic book publisher, STEAM expert, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and also a talented comic book writer in his own right. But he's a brain. This is his brainchild, the Temporal 10th. It's a mixture of Doctor Who meets I say Back to the Future, like Doctor
Ooh,
Who,
yeah.
with a huge sprinkling of Black history, Black excellence, and the HBCU experience. So it's like an Afrofuturism. So it's the general gist of the idea is W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. Um, Back in the early 1900s, they see inspiration in H.G. Wells's The Time Machine novel and the idea of time travel. And in this universe, they're able to kind of capitalize on that and basically create a time machine, or at least the idea of time travel, and how that, without giving too much or spoiling anything, what effect that would have on Black history, or how like we would use that. And then in present day, we have a group of HBCU students who come across this secret, and shenanigans ensue. So it's like it's a time travel adventure mixed in with a healthy dose of action, but also Black history and Black excellence. It's SUBSUME is a publisher that I feel like a lot of people should definitely check out. And you know, they've had Sorghum and Spear, which is the African set fantasy adventure, focused on these awesome women warriors. And so we always say, like, if you're a fan of like something like Conan meets the Dora Milaje, it's like a healthy mix of that. Yeah. And
that's a great description of it. Actually, that actually is like, that is actually dead on. Yeah, that is.
And the other series, one that I'm actually writing, Soul Nebula, which is our Afrofuturist space opera. But the Temporal 10th is a series that that adds to, or is a reflection, I think, of the efforts that Dedrin has done with SUBSUME and within the areas of STEM and STEAM. So it's a celebration of the sciences, but also, I keep saying this, of Black excellence, and it perfectly mashes them into this like fantastical adventure that I think a lot of people would enjoy. It's written by John Scooter Robinson. He is the creator and writer of the excellent series called Scorpio.
Yes.
And also has written for Kamikaze, the webcomic series, and one of their anthologies. And he's just a talented writer and awesome podcaster in his own right. And as far as the art, I'd have to check out the name, but the art is beautiful on it. And I don't want to not give the artists their proper credit, but I will eventually find that. But definitely worth checking out. As of this recording, the Kickstarter campaign is still ongoing, and as you can see with the beautiful artwork and talent behind the scenes with the writing, between Dedrin with the idea and John with putting the script together, you're going to get something that's worth supporting and checking out and helping to bring to life. But I think this is like a really good representation of like the quality comic books that you can find on Kickstarter, in addition to going to your local comic book store.
Yeah, this is one that just looks incredible. Like it has a mix of like you're saying, the time travel, the action adventure, the sci-fi aspect of it, dipping into our history and our past. But just it blends everything together that we know as our experiences, and that's what I love about it. And the fact it's coming from SUBSUME just adds another layer of excellence. Like, how many times can we say excellence during this show? Can we say it? You know what? In a future episode, I need to have a counter and some type of way and figure that out. But no, this is one that definitely have to go on. Dedrin was at the Schomburg this last week, and you could just see it there, and just to see like the mock-ups of it and everything. Absolutely beautiful. The art is fantastic. The story is going to be incredible, amazing. I'm highly excited for this one. I when I got home, I actually saw that the Kickstarter was up, and I made sure to pledge to it because I definitely want to see this one come about, and I want to have this one in my hands, just like I have. I think I'm thinking of everything that I have in my hands from SUBSUME, and I do, because it's just quality, excellence. That was like, I think 3 for me so far. And yeah, this is just one that's going to be fun, and I'm excited for everyone involved in this one, and for everyone who's going to get to read it also.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. I always try to, writers or just creators in general, if you were doing comic books, try to switch it up outside of just like superhero stuff. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with superhero comic books. We open the show, talking about superhero comic books, but even with that, there's the backdrop of horror. So it's not just like going out and fighting crime and everything. And I think that the Temporal 10th, along with a bunch of other comic books done by like some awesome publishers, other publishers, that they delve into different genres, and this is definitely more of like the sci-fi adventure,
Yeah.
with a little bit of social conscious, kind of consciousness mixed into the story. So I think this is reflective of, if you want something different, if you want something that is not typical, like tights and fights, I would always say support something, any projects, legit projects on Kickstarter. that,
That's a loaded statement. We're gonna not even go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that focus, that are something new, something new. So definitely, I would say give it a shot if you so please.
Yeah, this is one that's got a lot of variety in it and that thing. But I mean, we're talking about superheroes, but we just had National Superhero Day. Last week, and you have got two of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm a little biased, but you have got your National Superhero picks, and who are they?
So, in celebration of National Superhero Day, I went back and reread, or at least read through some of, as the time allowed, both Far Sector from DC Comics and a series called Noble from Lion Forge Comics. And Far Sector for me was it's my favorite Green Lantern story of all time. And I know for a lot of people, that's like sacrilegious. They're like, what about Hal? What about all the stuff he's done? What about, John Stewart? And I've read and have watched, plenty of really good Green Lantern storytelling in different mediums, comic books and animation. I'm not going to say film, but not yet.
Animated.
Yeah, no, animated.
Animated.
Yeah. So animated films, animated TV series, and comic books. We're not there with the movies yet. But with this, Far Sector, as I mentioned before, it's a gumbo of genres. It is a murder mystery. It's a superhero, story, and it's a sci-fi space opera. And who better than to bring all of that together than N.K. Jemisin, who is one of the most prominent science fiction authors of all time, as far as I'm concerned. So this is her first, I think this is her first comic book series. She wrote it and it's drawn and I think also colored by Jamal Campbell. And I'd have to, and it's one of those things where they both knocked this ish out of the park. And with this being her first effort in comic books, it is impressive as heck. And not saying that I never thought that N.K. Jemisin was going to be able to do it, but for this being her first time, it was amazing. It's a story about Jo Mullein. She's a member of the Green Lantern Corps, and she is tasked with protecting this sector of space. I can't remember the number right now, but she's drawn into this murder mystery that takes place on this alien planet, and it grows into something bigger and grander than just the murder mystery that it starts off with. Jo Mullein is, I think it's Mullein or Mullen, is one of my favorite characters, new characters introduced within the past 10 years. And this story is it's everything. I have it on digital. I have a hard copy of it. It's like, the trade paperback, the floppy one or whatever.
Yes.
And if it ever comes out as a hardcover, I will get that because that's how much I love the story. And I love Campbell's artwork on this. He's done a lot of DC work, so definitely check out his work. But I want more of N.K. Jemisin with this character, but I want her more stuff, more of her writing in comic books specifically.
Absolutely. It's a great, when I started reading it, I realized, wait, this is like a police show procedural.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because of the way it is, but then you're adding in, because Green Lanterns are essentially cops.
Yep.
I mean, they are essentially cops, but the way it flows together and the way it kind of is a whole new world, like you say, and whole new character, and how it's like they have currency as like memes, and like it's so smart and funny, and you do get this almost like detective noir kind of feel to it, like that focus. Yeah, everything about this just gels. I would love to see them work together again on another character or something creator owned. Even I'll be honest with you, I would love that.
That would be amazing. That would be
Whether
amazing.
it was like superhero or just anything like that, I'm so down for it, seriously, because this is one of the best. I had no idea what this series was going to be like, and then when I read it, I was like, wait, this is not what I. And then that's when I liked it even more, because it wasn't what I liked. But then it was also a Black Label book, which took over for
Vertigo.
Thank you, Vertigo. Yeah.
Vertigo.
So I didn't know it was going to be this outside the box, and they pretty much just kicked the box out the window and just said, "No, we're going to do our thing," which is awesome.
When she called somebody Hasididi,
yes,
I was just like, I'm done.
Unnecessary and yet so needed. Because again, did you think that you were going to hear that in here?
What'd you say?
But did you think that you were going to hear that in here? Like, that's why it was needed so much, because it was like,
no. I mean, it was. I think it was one of those moments that when I read it, I put the book down, and I was just like, it's an appropriate use of the word. But I didn't think I was going to see this in a DC comic book. So, but if you love the comic book, I definitely recommend picking up any of N.K. Jemisin's books. Like she is a talented science fiction author. So,
and you have another one you were saying. Again, you're hitting my sweet spot as far as these characters. You've got
Noble. I wanted, my goal with, like, at least with going to the shelf and reading something for National Superhero Day, were books that I don't think get as much shine time as I feel that they do. And I feel that Noble is one of those. Noble is a series that was published by Line Forge Comics and was a part of this larger event. We were just talking about events called Catalyst Prime. And it was like the creation of a new superhero, superpowered universe, with the catalyst being the destruction, the apparent, like, destruction of Earth by this, like, I think it was like an asteroid or a meteorite. And so a group of astronauts go into space to destroy the meteorite. And without getting into specifics about what happens, the shards of the meteorite, or like pieces of it, they hit the Earth, and a bunch of people are given these as super abilities. But one of the astronauts is David Powell, and he's, once again, without revealing too much, when we see him, he survived the blast, but he has come back to Earth with these telekinetic abilities, and he has amnesia, so he doesn't remember who he is. But he's on a quest, or to find out kind of who he is. But also, his wife is her name is Astrid Powell, and she has a background as a former kind of covert operative, CIA type, and she's on a search for her husband, who is now, apparently, not arisen from the dead, but he survived the mission. But the thing I love about this, outside of the writing, Brandon Thomas is one of the best writers of our generation, just period. Like, he kills it. And the artwork is done by, I'll find it.
Robinson.
Yeah. It's amazing. But the relationship,
Roger Robinson.
Yeah, the relationship between Astrid and David, I think, forms one of the best power couples or comic book couples in all of comic book history. There's an entire episode I could talk about, I could have about discussing their relationship, but she is not the damsel in distress. And she comes with it just as much as David does with his abilities as Noble, but Astrid can handle her own stuff and then some. And this is one of the few depictions I feel that we have in comic books, at least mainstream, and this might be technically considered indie, but of a powerful Black couple that does not get divorced or ripped apart by a big event. And for that alone, I could buy every issue of this comic book, and I have. But it's a really good superhero story. I think everybody should check it out, including all of the Catalyst Prime Line Forge titles if you can find them.
Yeah, this one is one that definitely hits hard. It is one of the best comics out there, and it is a beautiful story of an incredibly power couple, and it's their flagship title for the Catalyst Prime line. And I will say, if anything, Astrid actually is the deadlier of the two, and he's supposed to be the most powerful person on that planet, on their Earth, which is amazing. But speaking of one of the most powerful people on the planet, we got to talk about Greg. Can we talk about Greg for a minute?
Talk your ish about
Greg Burnham. Greg Burnham is incredible writer, phenomenal human being too. Such one of the nicest guys. We have now Atlantic Comic Con, which is from him. This is cool to me. Another con where we are able to celebrate and just enjoy the incredible comics that are out there. All these Black creatives coming together, and I love seeing more and more cons or events coming up that are centering on us. And when I say us, I mean all of us, not a particular section of Black community, but all of the Black indie comic book culture, and even like the bigger names, what have you. Everybody is there. So this is going to be a great event. This is the first time that's going to be around, which is awesome. It's going to be October 17th through the 18th. August 17th through the 18th. August, not October, August. And this is going to be at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel in Norfolk, Virginia. And there's going to be talking about art, and there's going to be cosplaying, gaming. It's going to be everything. It's going to be a con, folks. Okay, and this looks like to be a big deal. I'm so happy about this. I wish I could be there. But I will be checking out everything that's been going on. You can subscribe to the mailing list. You can even get involved with everything, whether you're applying for a table as a vendor or you're an artist and you're applying for a table for their artist alley, what have you. They've got a list of the guests that they're going to have there, which is beautiful. I mean, some of the names let's just start with these three names alone. Larry Stroman, Todd Johnson, Aletha Evelyn Martinez. Yes, and yes. Come on now. I could go more. I mean, Jessica Cage and Stephen Harris, Newton Lelevoix. Come on, y'all. This is like the creme de la creme, and this is only a drop in the bucket. There's going to be so much going on with this. This is amazing. I absolutely love the idea of this. This is going to be awesome. Folks, I'll have the link for this in the episode description, just as I will have for Robert's incredible library of work. I'll have the link in there as well, so you can go check him out and buy some of his books. And you'll also be able to check out the other stories that we have. I'll have the links in the episode description. How's that, Robert?
That sounds amazing, and
that's good.
And I'm going to piggyback on what Antonio just said. If you're in the area for Atlantic Comic Con, go and check it out. And if you can travel out of state to it, go and check it out. It's being organized by a very talented group of people.
Exactly, and it's going to be awesome. And folks, that's the show. Look, y'all have a great day. Enjoy the rest of it. Read something good, and we'll see you next time. All right. See you later. Peace.